So yesterday was a glorious day. I had to go to a metal plant, pick up a hazmat box. I was told my appointment for delivery was 4 o'clock. I didn't actually verify, but I arrived there at 8 in the morning. 2-hour drive, 113 miles to get there. I got there at 8. Now, when I asked my boss about this, he said he did tell me his appointment was at 1 o'clock. Which don't make sense because it takes literally 2 hours to go from shipper to consignee. And then, that time frame doesn't make a bit of sense. Because, I'm sorry. He told me 1. But yeah, when I got there, the guy said, I told him 2. So it would have left me 2 hours to do that run. So that right there kind of annoyed me. The power of dispatch trying to get me to get there early, whatever. So I get there at 8 o'clock, and the guy's kind of yelling at me. I told what's his face, Dingleberry, 2 o'clock. I'm like, well, I guess I'll just find a place to hide. So I sat till 1 o'clock at a movie theater that was closed because of the bug. So I go back, and I don't know if they had difficulties, but they're cleaning something, hence why the box is there for me to pick up. So I sit there for another 6 hours. Well, I left at 7 o'clock, so mind you, I woke up at 4:30. I left at 5. I didn't get home till 10 o'clock. So I'm down there, and I'm thinking, I might as well just sit here and do this instead of jetting, because probably ain't gonna have any work today. So I sit there and I take it like a champ. Guy comes up with my manifest, and I check it out. I see it requires placards, and I fill out my end of the manifest, and I don't have these placards. So of course the generator, the place I'm at, should have the placards. I get out of the truck and I go, hey, I don't have these placards. I need these placards. I don't have them. And I'm like, really? She said, oh, I'll go check with the security guard. Maybe he's got them. Now, this is the cleaning crew that they hired. So now I'm a little irritable. So I had to wait for the security guard. And, long story short, don't even know what placards are. So that was a waste of my breath and walking. So now I go back and like, yeah, they don't know. And he's like, well, normally we run them with 3082 or something. I don't know. Miscellaneous. I don't know. So then he tries to say, well, you could run it with your placards, the 3077s. Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. I don't really feel like being fisted with fines and everything else. And I'm sure the company wouldn't like being fisted with their end of the fines either. So I had to politely decline that suggestion. So then he said, well, I'm pretty sure he can run it to the 3082s, blah, blah, blah. So I'm humoring this guy because the placard on the manifest is a UN 3264. So I'm like, I go call the safety guy to see if there was a workaround for that. So I'm talking to him, and I don't like talking to him very much because I think he requires a bottle of Midol. Now, mind you, I called him for a question. He starts hollering on the phone. My tolerance for that is very, very small. So I end the phone call. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to fly. And he's like, well, what if I make you the placards? It's like, okay. So then I get my handy phone out and I Google what the placards look like. Because keep in mind, I didn't see the placards. The placards, I don't know if I can see it too well. They have a picture in them. Corrosive and a black bottom part. Yeah, I'm not Michelangelo, and I'm pretty sure he's not either. So that wasn't going to fly either. And I called the safety guy again on that too, and see if I had to have the fucking pictures and blah, 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 blah. And of course he's fucking hollering. So finally, like, look, I gotta come back. I can't sit here no longer. And then he thinks that I left with it. And I'm like, dude, I got exactly 2.5 hours to drive back, and I got 2 hours, or 2.5 hours left on my clock, and I got a 2-hour drive back. I gotta go. And I can't sit here no longer. So holler somewhere else. So now I left. And I had to go call my dispatcher and tell him the bad news. So I didn't get home, walk in the door till 10 o'clock last night. So at that point, in fact, and the bottom part, the nice part, is I forgot my water at home. And I didn't think, I thought it'd be an easy day, And I sat from 8 o'clock till 6 o'clock, 10 hours, with no food and water. So by the time I got home, I had 2 sandwiches and fries at McDonald's and a root beer. And some drinks, water, and then I went to bed. So I was not really in the greatest mood last night. So then I woke up this morning at like 8 o'clock, 8:30. And, I don't know what time the office called me. Finally, they go, hey, he's got the placards now. So then I drive all the way back to grab this goddamn box. And this is where I'm going to split this video in two. So, I get down there, okay, to the place to pick up this box today. And I see my box. That's great. I talked to the security guard, like, yeah, where do I go for my paperwork? Because I didn't see my paperwork in the box. So I get down there, and it's one way, so I had to drive around the building. Get to my box. I walk by the box, and hey, my paperwork's here that I filled out yesterday. Just didn't have the shipper generator stuff on it. So I go in this little door, main door, and there's a guy, and he said, hey, I'm looking for placards. They said they got my placards. The placards are in the box. Direct me. He tells me to go around the back of the building. So I hop back in the truck and go around one way to a set of doors. And I get in there and no one around, and I walk to what appears to be a shipping office. And then some guy, I think he was on the forklift, comes in the building and yells at me for being in the building. Because apparently, because of this fucking virus, I'm not allowed in this building. I didn't read the paper yesterday, but I know that they closed off the restrooms to truck drivers and they gave a porta potty. So now I'm a little irritated because of that right there, that little situation. So I'm like, okay. So then he tells me I'm in the wrong spot. I gotta go to the other side of the building. So now I walk back to the truck. Move back over there. Get out. And I start walking to the doors. And the guy hollers at me. He goes, "Hey, what you need?" I said, "I'm here to talk to some guy named CJ." "Oh, you can't get in here. Those doors are locked." So he calls the guy. Now, mind you, yesterday I sat for 10 hours and left with no load because no one gave me placards. No one had placards. I almost just left again. Now, when I leave without a load and I get there, they get charged. Not a full amount, but they get charged for my presence. I almost left again without a load. And I would have billed him for it, and I would have put refuse to talk to me. Okay, let's not sugarcoat this bullshit. These companies, and mine included, yeah, we're operating. We're essential. If they really cared about the safety of their employees, we would be at home. We would not be open. In fact, I'm seeing this everywhere. And when I go to places, people look at you funny. Just like that place there. Now out in the building. Guy didn't even want to handle my paperwork. Now, mind you, they called us to come down there. They called, I didn't go to them. No, they called us to come pick up this box. And these companies are like, yeah, we're gonna lock people out of the building. We're not gonna let truck drivers in the bathrooms. Blah 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 blah. You know what that is? It's false fucking security. If they really cared about their goddamn health, they would be shut down. It ain't just them. Yesterday I went to McDonald's and they got plexiglass at the drive-thru. Okay? That's embarrassing because, yeah, maybe you're in a truck or SUV, it works, but I'm in a little dinky Tahoe, or, Cobalt. I have a direct line. I can cough on your ass, and the cough goes 6 feet. Hence the rule, 6 feet distance. So right there is insecure, or, trying to give some sort of security to their workers, but they don't give a shit about their fucking employees. In fact, I give them my goddamn debit card. So if I had it, it'd be on the goddamn direct. You get where I'm going with this? I was at Burger King this morning for breakfast on the way to work. They take one of the trays, for like the pickles or the metal trays that they put in their condiments to put on your burger. They put the drink and the sandwich in the bag and push out this tray. Okay. But they still take my goddamn debit card. And I can still cough on you because you're in the 6 feet zone. So, yeah, this is just embarrassing. My wife is forced to wear a goddamn face mask. That's a hell of a lot more better than whatever these people are doing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing watching this stupid ass show around here. Okay? These employers don't care about their goddamn health at all. So, yeah. I think that's into my rant. So, getting on to the other part, American Standard is shutting down. I guess tomorrow's their last day. They're supposed to be shutting down for 2 weeks. Let's see. I know the automakers are still shut down. The company we pull the scrap that makes the body panels, the fenders, and all that. I think they closed down. Let's see. Next week, the major steel mill is got short hours, and then Friday they're not open. They're also not taking any lime. And see, the lime plant is also shortening the coal because I'm guessing that they're not having as much production going on. So this is what, week 2? Or is this week 3? This is a trickle down effect. So stuff's gonna get worse. Simple as that. It's going to get worse. I don't know how much worse. I know most of our fleet was in at 9 in the morning. Some of them, they start out way earlier, like 1, maybe midnight, 1, 2. But most of the fleet was in at 9 in the morning. And I know we had a couple drivers laid off. Let's see. Yeah, it's only going to get worse. So, you guys better be prepared because everyone's going to be pushing us out to the end of April now. More and more people are going to be more desperate, so we're going to have some dark times ahead of us. Anyways, have a good day.